Rockets basketball tonight. We've got the top two out west. The fifth up that 16th technical foul against Utah. The Rockets are
downhill. Oklahoma City's the most action, and the key against a great defense, you must create action. Secondary spacing. When you move the ball a few times, you're going to get open looks, knock it down, and you can loosen up Oklahoma City's defense.
And the first shot of the game is a three by Chet Holmgren. As this season has gone along, Oklahoma City, as we all expected, they've really improved their three-point shooting, now amongst the best in the league from the three-point line off the pick. Van Fleet, his first shot of three, no good. A rebound cleared by Dort. He'll race into the other side of the floor and then had it stripped away by Van Fleet, and he goes behind his back and saves it to Jalen Green, and here come the Rockets again. He'll pull up. Oh, touched every... Green had that incredible game late last season in Oklahoma City, but this season's really struggled, and that went all... Come up with steals, come up with a ton of deflections.
Right now, the challenge you're going to see with the double big lineup is defensively guarding the three-point line. Already gave up one to Holmgren and then two steals since.
And pretty move by Oklahoma City team, which is full of great shooters.
Well, you can assume at some point the double big will be in zone, and we'll just keep an eye on that.
And that gets poked away by Adams. Here comes Amen Thompson. Has Dort backtracking and dunks it down.
We talked about or give up a bucket.
So that's a quick 7 straight points by Houston. Green picks up Williams, takes him off the bounce, comes into the lane, got to the rim and scored.
You got some powerful guards over there at OKC.
Thompson to Van Vliet, fakes it, comes into the lane, now back to Amen Thompson, the dish into Şengün, steps under Holmgren and
scores it. And here's the zone we talked about, Craig.
And we'll see how they defend the Thunder. They get the turnover, bad pass, here comes Thompson again.
There you go. Force someone to step up, and nobody does.
Deflection away from Gilgeous-Alexander. Boy, the Rockets, they're active. And you kind of talked about this when you talked about your keys, Ryan. When you play over rust and physicality, right? Because they're going to do all that to you all game long.
Oh, they're physical. They're going to grab and hold. They're undersized, but they are tough, and they move their feet, and they don't like to give up an inch.
And if you don't stay in attack mode at both ends of the floor against Oklahoma City, you can get in big-time trouble.
You're right about that. You know, they'll crowd you, they'll turn you over, and that's not a place you want to be in.
SGA, turned back by Adams to Hartenstein to Dort, run off the three-point line. Now in the corner to Holmgren's already made one, and now he's got a couple of threes.
So that's the tough part. When he starts spacing the floor and there's guards getting downhill, that's where Oklahoma City's tough.
His season-high scoring this year came against the Rockets. Van Vliet from Adams to Şengün, and
Şengün's free to just attack Holmgren because the help isn't there.
Spin, the block by Thompson, picks up the loose change. 5-on-2 the other way, over the top to Green, and defended by one. You got multiple top defenders in the league on the floor tonight. 2 on Şengün to Green. Gets by Dort, comes into the lane, goes up against that size and scores. He's the rim well. Basically, only the Cavaliers defend it better. Hartenstein scores.
But another big key is Şengün at Holmgren. We're seeing it right now. When Şengün goes straight through Holmgren, it is a tough sledding for OKC. Toyota Center is going to have to be rocking in. You got something to do.
Double-doubles. He's double-doubled in 2 of the 3 games again.
I'll tell you how ruthless Ime is. You know, whoever Holmgren's on, he's either going to have to box out Steven Adams, which I'm sure he doesn't want to do, or guard Şengün one-on-one on the block.
Williams, not very good spacing here by the Thunder. Now to Dort, and his three's no good.
They're not as efficient. Their double big doesn't work the way Houston's double big works. And what happens?
Nolt won the Coach of the Year last year. Easily could win it again this year, as is the case
about that, Craig. And you can see the development in Oklahoma City and leaps and bounds. I think it's got to be Ime's to win because of what he's done for this organization. And there goes more skilled players in the NBA.
Almost lost it. Now he'll go one-on-one with Holmgren. Gets right into his chest spin. Shot put, no. Stays with the play, and the rebound eventually cleared by Holmgren. Comes into the front court. Comes back to Williams. Thought about lining up the 3. Now they swing it around to Gilgeous-Alexander. Working on Thompson, loses him. That's not easy to do, and he did knock down in drives and points off drives. OKC Thunder, the Thunder, they're second in the league as a team on the rim from the three-point line. And
we haven't seen from Ime. It goes from double big to small.
And there's a 20-foot 2 by Williams.
Now this lineup is going to have to keep the ball in front, but they can switch everything.
Jabari now playing the 5, and another.
You love right now, Jalen's in attack mode, and it went right at Lou Dort, was not shy.
SGA
Zones that you don't see too often. You just got to take your hat off and yes.
These teams are playing for the 5th time in a single season, for the first time since 1988. Green again, got by Dort, got by Holmgren, missed the corkscrew layup though. And now OKC comes the other way, looking to tie with a 3. Dort into the lane. Gets turned back by Tari Eason, now to Cason Wallace. Back to Gilgeous-Alexander. And that little looper.
Here's the thing with Shea. At some point, he's their only offense, and it's been like that all season, but he plays on ball and off ball just as good.
Green by Wallace to Eason down the
second time he made Oklahoma pay.
Yeah, there he is.
Decelerate. It's special.
Green off the pick, missed the 3. Alexander averaging almost 33 a game, a career high, tops in the league. Williams on Van Vliet.
Oh, they have been so dominant on both ends, and a team that already was really good came back and got better.
Williams and knockdown 3s as well.
You might have to go get him soon.
And here's Caruso just in a game, and well,
open.
Twice named Caruso has been to an all-defensive team. Again, Oklahoma City, the best defense in basketball. Here's Smith over Holmgren.
Well, till you guys retire, and then even on some more.
Jabari looking for his 3rd straight double-double. Caruso into the lane, back to Wallace. Comes back out to Holmgren over Eason on the closeout. Missed that one.
Well, Craig, we talked about the double big may not guard the 3s as well, but this lineup can guard the perimeter.
And Green drawing a back in.
Zone here from Oklahoma City.
Now Tari to Green up top, weaving into the lane. Throws up a wild one, Lake Charles. So Oklahoma City out of the timeout. Williams from the corner, rim short. Rockets are outscoring the Thunder 7-0 in terms of fast break points to start the game. That's a good sign because trying to score against their set half-court defense can be a challenge. Here's Eason, almost lost the ball. And then did have Shai Gilgeous-Alexander probably also deserves a spot in an all-defensive team this year as well.
He makes plays, but does he guard the other? It's just that Dort's the one putting in that work.
They have multiple candidates. That's why they're the best defense in the league. That layup too strong. Tip try by Caruso, also no good. Rockets will push tempo again. There's the lob, and there's the incredible reverse jam. Buzzes balance, back the Rockets come again. Green pulling back over Williams to 3, air ball, but that lead here because that challenge by the Thunder unsuccessful, so they are now no longer able to challenge anything else. The rest challenges left.
Yeah, and for player safety, the reason that Spurs, he's playing against the Warriors, and he was never the same since, but he was stepped on, that foot was laid out. So you've got to allow, as you said, Craig, the shooter someplace to land, and that was not allowed, and that's why Jalen landed doing the splits.
Well, Jalen has 14 first-quarter points. Let me remind you, I mentioned this just a few moments ago. He's only averaged 13 against the Thunder this season. Great start for him. 7 straight for the Rockets. They're up 10. There's the lob. There's the dunk. Hartenstein.
Yeah, that's the Now the nail to help on those tight curl plays with Hartenstein. They love to throw that ball in the air for him.
Former Rocket Isaiah Hartenstein. Thompson went right at him. Missed the shot. Sengun fights for the board.
And it wasn't a perfect
top seed out west. They're running away with it. So the Rockets are trying to lock in the 2 seeds, though this game ultimately means a bit more to them than it does to Oklahoma City. As Williams now has 2 fouls and Sengun misses the free pace for 69. So they're on pace to have one of the best seasons in the history of the sport. And they've won 11 in a row coming to play today. So, well,
you're right about that, Craig. And, you know, big picture, when Houston's going to play with the league's best, we've always said it, you got to have Sengun or Jalen Green playing at a high clip, if not both, if they're going to compete. And that's why those offensive lulls have been there. So Houston right now answering the question of Jones started it on fire. Both of them have been spectacular so far.
And this season, as he finds Sengun, swings it to Jabari, now to Tari. Good ball movement, misses the 3 of the rebound to Oklahoma City. The Rockets have been this season amongst the best teams against